live button. Got it. It is preparing to live stream. Maybe we're already on. I don't know. I think I have to click another go live button, but we'll see. It's loading.
Shall we
loading.
Do you want to record this too?
It'll be recorded on my YouTube channel.
Oh, duh. I'm not. It's Monday.
It's all good. It's all good. Hold on.
Monday.
Is this working? I don't even know if it's working right now. Live button. Got it. Okay, I see. Yay! Okay, yeah? I see where we are. I don't know if we're on the same page, but that's okay. Can you hear me, Jackie?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you. Okay, we are working through technical difficulties right now, but that's okay. You guys, as you are joining, say hello.
Yay.
Let us know that you're here. How are you all doing? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yes, me too.
We're doing the things. Yay. Okay, I see the comments. Valerie is here. Jenny is here. Yay. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to this live stream. I'm just going to go actually and make sure that everyone knows where we're at, because I think the link might be different than what I had prepared. So let me just, because that, I don't know why that didn't work out, but it's okay.
Yay.
Hold on. We're going to get this figured out.
We do. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Yay. Okay. Hello, everyone. We are here and I'm so excited. Another YouTube live, which is just always so much fun. Hold on. Let me adjust this. Okay. We're good. Hey, everyone is joining. Happy to see you. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited. As you can see, we are doing something a little bit different. Oh, hello, Domenico. Yay. So excited. I have a special guest today, and I have to say that this is a really special moment because I've never done a guest appearance on my channel. So you are the first one. You're the first one. I know.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. I feel so honored.
That's so special. Yeah. So I mean, I thought who better than you to come on and join us today. So as you are all joining, say hello in the live chat box. If you are watching on the recording, you can say hello in the comments below. I'm so excited. Today we're going to be talking about how to grow your impact. And I have the beautiful Miss Jacqueline Hopper, who is here with me today. And before I introduce you to Miss Jackie, I just have to say that I just love this woman so much. She is incredible. We've been friends since 2018, I think, or something like that. I don't even know. Time goes by and it's just like so incredible. We've walked this journey together in so many different ways, gone through so many different things together, grown together. And I think one of the most beautiful things about this friendship is that, one, we met each other online, first of all.
No.
And then second of all is that it's being able to see the mirror and the growth for each other as we have both grown in our work and our businesses and, expanded in our individual impacts, and how now, we just continue to grow and expand each other and together. And I just want to say that I value that so much. And so thank you for being in my life. Thank you, universe, for bringing Jackie into my life. And so now I get to share Jackie with all of you guys today so that you know who she is and the amazing work that she does in the world. So without further ado, would you like to please introduce yourself to
I would love to. Oh, thank you. I know this is actually my first YouTube live. I think I flopped on the one I attempted a while back. So this is so exciting. And I'm so grateful to be on your page. There's not a better person that I'd love to collaborate in this life with than you, most especially, but on YouTube anyway. So I'm super excited. My name is Jacqueline Hopper. I am a soul expansion coach. Using my psychic abilities, I help others tap into their abilities, their intuition, their healing, and I help them make the impact that they came here into this world to make. And it's such an exciting thing. It really is. I think one of my favorite things to do is inspire others to reach spaces within themselves that they never thought was possible, that they didn't think that they could reach, that they, honestly didn't even know they harnessed the power to grow, to manifest, and to expand. And so doing this work is incredible. Doing this work with you, alongside of you and the angels, is incredible. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here, and look at all these people joining us. It's crazy.
Yay. Hello, everyone who is joining. And thank you for sharing that. Like, it's just amazing to, like I said, witness the growth that has happened and all the things and the work that you do and how you support others. So it's just amazing. And I'm so excited for our conversation today, because today we're going to be sharing with you all, some important aspects. And I think, a lot of it we've learned from our individual journeys as well, but it's about growing your impact. And, really for the people, I know that there's so many people who watch this channel who are on that path of understanding your purpose, growing into your purpose, knowing that you're here to create a huge shift in the world through your light, through your love, through your gifts, through all of the things. And, oftentimes I think a big question that we ask ourselves as light workers, as healers, as spiritual teachers, leaders, however whatever you call yourself. But I think the big question that we often ask ourselves is, how do I grow my impact, or how do I impact the people who I am meant to reach with my work, right? Because I know that for me, for a long time at the beginning of my journey, it felt like crickets. Like I would want to share something or, grow or expand in some way. And it's like cricket. Like, no, it's like no one was listening. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It felt like, it's like, how do I reach the people? How do I talk to the people? How do I let people know who I am or what I have to share? How do I actually express my value and all of the things? You know what I mean? And I think that's a huge part of the journey that people go through, is like, how do I actually bring that out to the next level in the world? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And I think a lot of people struggle with that word impact because some are intimidated by it, and I think, to be fair too, I think we need to be very careful that impact isn't something that is desirable in our ego's point of view. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you simply being here is the impact. You being, the genuine, authentic version of yourself is the impact. And your story and everything you've gone through, everything you've grown through, everything you've healed through is that story that is going to inspire others to show up and live life in a different way. And ultimately, when we look back on our lives and we say, I did the dang thing, I showed up and, I supported and I allowed Source to move through me. And I allowed that love that Source moved through me to be expressed into this world. And by doing that, I made an impact. They're continuously showing me this vision of what is that? I don't know if it's called something, but you take a rock and you kind of like throw it a certain way at a, you know what I mean? In a very calm space of water, and you watch as it pop, 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 and all of the ripples that come from that contact. Do you know what I mean? And what that looks like, but also how far out they go. And that's what your story is. Your story is the rock that's banging up against the water, that is this conscious collective, that we are all a part of. And it's so important that people start to lean into what that is for them and to share it in the world, most especially if you're feeling like you are called to be of service here. That itch of being a light worker, that itch of showing up and sharing space with others in a healing way, and being able to affect the lives of those ones around you, to see the change that we know this world so desperately needs. Marianne Williamson says, any act of pain, any act of violence, any act of disrespect is a call for love. And when you don't have to look far, you turn the news on, you see the call for love that's being had. And very slowly we are seeing big shifts and changes, and it's amazing, but it's not in my opinion, Jackie's opinion, hashtag Jackie's opinion, it's not happening fast enough. And that's why we need these light workers. That's why we need healers. That's why we need people embracing their story, embracing their gifts. You know, that's the other thing we have not even freaking touched on. I mean, we've been live on Facebook, you know, we've been doing some retreats of our own and together, and we have not yet touched on that. The universe seeks to move through you as a vessel and as a channel. And I think the word psychic throws people off because people either don't resonate with it, religion gave it a bad taste, you know, they don't feel they're worthy of that. But essentially what this is, when you connect to your impact, you know who you are and you know what you're meant to do, you are channeling the essence of the highest version of who you are. And that highest version, along with yourself, is connected to the divine. The divine seeks to express itself through you. It's why you're here on earth. Yep. And so it is now a big calling outward for you to go inward to then see the impact you're meant to make, feel the potential that your soul holds, and start taking action and showing up in ways that are going to be of great service here to the world.
Yep. Oh my gosh. So good and so beautiful. And it's so true. It's like, and I think you mentioned this the other day where, you know, a lot of people have experienced this kind of like things falling apart and things kind of like, you know, being dismantled in our individual lives or journeys in or certain areas of our life. Right. And oftentimes at first it's like, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? What's going on? Right. But then when we actually lean into the divine truth there, it's like you said, it's source moving through you in order for you to become that expression of the divine in the world, right? It's the calling of this isn't working anymore. Like this mediocre life, this whatever, this isn't actually who you are. This is not the potential that we desire for you. You know, there's something more. And it's that then I think that's what often leads people then onto that path or that seeking, right? Seeking what is my truth? What is my purpose? Who am I here to be? What am I here to do? Right. And getting familiar with what exactly what you talked about, like that, what is the gift? What is the expression that is meant to flow through me? You know?
Yes, absolutely. You know, and I think you also need to recognize when that is being caught, when you're being called, when you're being pulled. If you are in life right now, and there's no shame, my friend, there's no judgment in any way, shape, or form. But if I'm speaking to you in this moment right now, and it's calling to you, you're feeling movement in your belly, you're feeling heaviness in your heart. When I say these words to you, you need to own this. Yeah. If you are living a life that does not feel completely satisfying, if you are showing up every day and you're not thriving, if you are out into the world and you feel unheard or unseen, now is the time that you are meant to be expanding into something much greater than what your ego perhaps, what society perhaps, what your, upbringing perhaps, or what, whatever the relationships in your world that are holding you back from really witnessing the magnificent potential of your light. Because the truth is, you are here to thrive. You are here to connect to limitless amounts of money and limitless amounts of abundance and limitless amounts of opportunities, and make a big impression here in this world. And when you make a big impression in this world, you start having experiences that are so satisfying. And source can finally take you to those places you never thought you could go, to see the scenery, they're saying, to see and witness the scenery that you've never witnessed before, and the thing about it is, I'll bring it all the way back full circle. When you are in that moment going, oh my God, the universe is moving right through you too, saying pretty much the same thing. Holy cow, this is good. Yes. She opened us up. She opened and let me see through her. Right? To be inspired is to be in spirit, to allow spirit in. You know what I'm saying? And so like, there's something so much more powerful and magnificent than just the, like you said, the mediocre. And if life is not feeling anything like satisfaction or, you know, joy or bliss, and let me tell you, I think it would be complete bullshit to say it's always going to feel that way.
Right.
But it is absolutely supposed to peak.
Yes.
If you haven't peaked yet, friend, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Question.
Yes. And I think a really powerful thing too that comes up as you say that is, you know, like you were saying, it's not always, you know, I always say sunshines and butterflies. It's not always like la 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 la, you know, whatever. But it like the thing about the journey is that, and I think that's really important, is understanding how we lead ourselves through it. Do you know what I mean? Like becoming the leader for ourselves in our own life, where when challenges come up, when things come up, when your own mind is doubting you and becoming fearful of, well, what if you fail, or what if this happens or that happens, or you're not good enough, whatever it is, right? That you know how to lead yourself through those moments and lead yourself through whatever gets thrown at you that might feel like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't expecting this. Now everything's thrown off or whatever. It's about how can I lead myself through it so that I can, and this is the word that has kept coming through over and over. And I told Jackie about this, like the steadiness, right? Being steady. How can you stay steady on your course, your journey, your path, who you have come here to be? Because as long as we stay steady in that, as we continue to like one step forward, you know, it's like everything that you talked about becomes inevitable. Do you know what I mean? Like it is like that expansion, that awareness, that connection, it becomes inevitable because we're walking our path. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when we are looking at what's that person doing this over here, and we kind of sway this way and that way and this and that, we kind of create a longer path for ourselves. You know what I mean? Rather than staying steady in that journey. And it's not to say that you could ever get it wrong, because I always believe that the universe will always guide you back to where you need to go. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
But it's like, knowing, okay, I can feel myself veering off the path a little bit. How can I get myself back on? Because I can see that I'm not in that alignment with who I truly am or what I'm here to do. How can I bring myself back and then walk steady in it, you know, where judgments or fears or criticisms or whatever doesn't sway you so much, you know? And that, I think, is the power of understanding how we lead ourselves through those different things. And I think that's a skill that you kind of learn and understand as you grow on the path. You know,
I do. I agree with that 100%. But I also believe that it's the trust.
Yes. That's
that huge. Is that right there. It's
so
the key.
Big.
It is so big. And many of us are not trusting ourselves. We're trusting what the outside world is speaking to us.
Yes.
We're trusting what the gas pump says. We're trusting what the news people say about, you know, Ukraine and the government and all the things that are happening. We're trusting more in all of that than we are in our ability to go inward, seek out and find that peace that then allows us to feel steady. And leaning in and trusting that from that space of steadiness, that's all we need to do. If more of us would show up in that way, if more of us would go inward to find that peace, people are out here trying so hard to spread the peace. Do you know what I'm saying? To speak on the peace. They're trying so hard to put the peace or create it out in this outside world. We're failing to remember that if I can create this peace within me, and you can create that peace within you, and everyone watching, all 26 amazing souls could reach that level of peace within themselves. Here's where we hold peace at an exponential space that then can ripple out. You see, it's not from outside then within, it's from within that affects the outside. But when we don't trust, and like you said, we judge, or we allow the imposter syndrome to come through, or we allow, you know, the external experiences to sway us, you know, we wobble. And when we wobble in our trust and in our faith, it's so much harder to connect to the inner voice, to connect to the divine, to hear what it is that it's asking us to do, or asking us to just, and the beautiful thing about it, I could get emotional right now, is it's not always directing you. Sometimes it's lulling you. Beautiful. You're doing amazing. I see within you so much perfection. You're beautiful. You're amazing. I see within you so much perfection. Like, could you imagine walking through life, listening to messages like that on a consistent basis? Like, if we
sign me up for that. Where do I sign
you know
up?
what I mean? Yes. I mean, I had this amazing experience this weekend, and this space I went to was 3 hours away. And on the way home, I had no music. And I didn't even realize I had no music till I pulled in my driveway. I'm like, wow, I went 3 hours with nothing. But I didn't, because it was in my head that they were communing and they were confessing and they were connecting and they were making all kinds of conversation about where we need to be and what we need to do and how we can get there and why it's important. And this constant reminder that comes from me is that nothing outside of you completes you. Nothing external harms you. Nothing else external can create the life for you that you wish to see. Nothing outside you does that. It's all from within you. And when you're inside and you make inside the job and you make steadiness your state of being.
Oh my God.
You feel that down your spine? Like, I'm like, yes. I feel like a divine angel.
So good.
It is so good. And it's from here that we reach beyond any limitations. It's from here that we actualize the things we want to manifest and see for ourselves, and the service we want to be in this world. I think people are getting it. I think we're beyond the service-based person who shows up into the world and does it for everyone else. We're beyond this because we've caught on to the fact that it's through me that the universe works. So that means I have to self-care first. That means that I have to go inward and do the work that's necessary to share with others. I have to do it first. I have to heal me first. And if we caught on to that, that's the greatest blessing, because you're being blessed before you can bless others. It's no longer about, let me show up, let me create this product they need so I can put the money on it that they will pay so that I can go out and make the impact that they are going to see. It's not about them. It's about you.
Yes, that's so, so beautiful and so powerful. And so one of the things that comes up that I would love to hear what you have to say about it. And, it's one of those things where I think for a lot of people, like exactly what you're saying, like the leading of ourselves that then, supports us and how we show up for other people and all those things. I think, maybe it's just from my perspective, but I think for a lot of people, it's like this, okay, I have to use my voice. How do I use my voice to share? How do I use my voice to speak when maybe they've grown up feeling like their voice is not important, or that they're not meant to be heard, or that, whatever, no one wants to hear what you have to say, or blah, blah, blah. Right. And then there's this fear of like, how do I speak my voice and speak my truth when there's all these kind of layers that make me feel like maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I'm not good enough or worthy of that. Do you know what I mean? So, because one of the things that came through as you were talking is like the power then that comes in your voice, right? There's a difference between, I'm just going to say this and like speak it, versus there's power behind my voice. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do we access that power behind our voice? And I know that you have a term for something here, and I forget what it is, but I want you to share about it.
Do you hear me screaming it at you? Because I'm like, I know what you are. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I connect with the throat chakra as the God spark. And
God spark. That was the word. I was like, it's God something, and I forget what it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's the God spark. It's the God spark. And so, if you believe like we do, I'm just going to hop you on the train. I put you right in the passenger seat. Sit there. You believe this.
Yes. Okay. Whatever you say.
Right. Okay. What do I believe? If you believe that we are here and that God moves through us, source, universe, Allah, the divine, Buddha, whoever you connect with, whatever it is that feels really comfortable for you, I want to give that to you, because I know God can trigger some people, and that's okay. But if you believe that you're here and working on behalf of a greater purpose, then that something greater than you exists and is for your highest good and loves you deeply, if you believe in that, then what flows through you on its behalf is what its messages to be delivered through you. And your God spark is where that connection is made, right? You and the divine. And so when you're really called to speak on something, it's very much an inspired conversation, or an inspired thought, or an inspired post, or something inspired expression wise, that's often very connected to the divine, to source. And that God spark is always, 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 always going to make sure that you are seen in your light. It's never going to put you down. It's never going to make you feel less than. It's never going to tell you to be quiet. It's never going to shush you. It's never going to say something to another person that speaks to them to belittle them or downgrade them or make them feel anything less than. Say the word again. Sorry, I lost. Benevolent. That's what they said. And so when you're speaking, and very much like this, I will tell you right now, for those of you watching, you are watching my higher soul, my higher being flow through me very clearly. And my God spark is very activated. It's very big. And we're speaking through you in the way that source seeks to speak through us for the purposes of this life, for the purposes of supporting you in your impact and in your growth. So this is what it looks like. If you want to, if you're someone that sees energy, you can feel and see the energy flowing through. People can see that. I mean, I can very easily watch as the angels communicate with you as this floods through. It's very visceral. It's very clear. But when you see this coming through, it speaks to impact. That's the God spark. And that's how you know it's activated. It speaks to impact. It speaks to activate within another being the essence of more love.
Yep.
Right.
And you can feel that so deeply. Like when you're on the receiving end of the God spark, you like are like ding, 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 ding. Like it's all this activation that's happening, and that's exactly it. There's a difference when it's like, I'm speaking because it's Christina speaking versus I'm channeling something. I'm emitting, another word that I use for this is like the transmission that's flowing out. The transmission, and you're receiving the transmission.
Yes,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? And even through the voice, right? Because we taking it to, talking about healing and energy healing and that kind of thing. I think a lot of times we typically think of energy healing like hands-on healing or this or that or whatever, but healing happens through the voice. Like when the God spark is activated and there's this transmission that's happening and we are listening, we are receiving that frequency. It's coming in, it's processing, and it activates something inside of us. So, it just goes to show the power of the divine, how it uses us in this way to be able to reach the people, right? In the way that it's meant to, so that these frequencies can be received. And so that ripple that you were talking about earlier can continue to flow.
Yeah. Because the truth is that the universe needs us to do that.
Yep.
See, that's the thing. It needs me. Yeah. And not in a negative sense, needs me, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, but it desired my presence here on earth, and I desired my presence here on earth. And it is seeking through me to make the impression it seeks to make. Does this make sense? And so it has to be there for me always.
Yep.
Right. And you're absolutely right. When you are witnessing someone and they are having conversations with you, and this is not a special gifted person. Let me put it this way. You could be talking to your best friend, and your best friend says something that's like, oh my gosh, that was so good. Can you say that again? Right. Or I'm calling my best friend and something has happened and I'm so upset by this, and the calming words that come through. Anything that shifts your perspective is a miracle moment. Yes. And it's often because of a God spark that was led to give a gift of a message to you, to support you with understanding something more, to get you to go deeper within yourself, to witness who you really truly are, and to own your sovereignty. That's what the God spark wants, is for each and every person to own their sovereignty. 100%.
Yeah. And I think the thing is for a lot of people, you have already had this experience of the God spark without even noticing, probably, you know, just like Jackie mentioned, you know, you're talking to someone and then all of a sudden you're just like sharing this information, this advice, or you're just in this flow of speaking or sharing or whatever. And it feels like it's coming from you, but really there is a greater energy behind it. Right. And now as you step into your calling and as you step into your gifts and your truth and who you are, it's like you become even more intentional with using that connection, or I don't want to say using, but allowing the connection to be expressed or to expand more.
Tuning. Exactly. And it is a matter of exactly what you said. It's tuning into it by leaning into it, but it's tuning it as well. Let me tell you something. I do not know who told it. Could have been a mentor. I don't know who said this, but it's so freaking true. When you work on your throat chakra to bring it into alignment, an aligned throat chakra speaks very clearly. They have a vocal tone that everyone can hear. A closed off a closed off throat chakra, people walk around and they don't want to really hear it. And you're like, what'd you say? I can't hear you. Huh? You know what I mean? One that's wide open is often very disrespectful. Very, you know, I am one that has a little bit of a tongue where sometimes the naughty words can slip out. It's not my fault. But somebody that's really, really, you know, disrespectful with their words, they use it to be abusive, or they feel like that, you know, showing up and being the life of the party and super loud. That's a throat chakra that's wide open. But when you're aligned, you can almost feel yourself sitting up straighter and taller, you know? And when a God spark activates, you can also feel the difference in your vibration, in your tone. People that couldn't sing are suddenly singing. You know what I mean? Because it's fine-tuned. So it's not just tuning in and listening to the messages that come through that are being very, very, very impressed upon you to share, but it's also about you flexing this throat chakra more and more and more. You'd be very surprised at how much confidence comes from you being able to express yourself. And oh gosh, Zita's like so present. She says it's also very magnificent to know that not everything needs your word. You don't need to put your word on everything. You don't need to intervene on everything. You don't need to put your 50 cents anywhere. That you can very easily be quiet. And that actually is another aspect of the God spark. Silence can actually move so much more.
Yes.
Right? There's no need. Not my circus, not my monkey. I don't need to get in this drama. I'm not going to participate in this. I'm not giving her advice because she never follows it. I'm not going to put my mind into this because, you know what I mean? Their opinion. We're not on the same level. Do you know what I mean? We are very mindful of the rooms we're in. We're very mindful of the things we speak, and we're okay with this. That's how you know that you've got a tuned in throat chakra, that you have a fine-tuned God spark, because when God shows up and asks you to speak on its behalf, trust me, friend, you're going to know. And it is your impact, and it will be through your story. That's going to be the biggest thing we need to speak on now. If you're not out sharing your impact or sharing your story, we need to look at this. We need to tune in.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh my God. I'm just getting chills and just like, oh my gosh, all the things with all of the information that's coming through. And, you know, I think this is, you know, with regards to all of this work around the voice, around your story, understanding the power behind your story. How do I share my story? How do I bring that forward? What is the impact? What is the gifts behind it? Activating the God spark, all of these things. This is something that I'm going to share it now because it's just so excited that Jackie and I are going to be doing together to support you at the end of July. So there's something coming that we are so excited to share. It is called Beyond Limitations Chicago. We are going to be in Chicago at the end of July. It's 29th through the 31st. And in this event, this 3-day event, we are going to be talking and going deep in all of these aspects that we just talked about your truth, about your story, your God spark, your voice, the power behind your voice, how to bring that forward, how to activate it so that you can activate others on this path, you know, and really being able to move beyond any limitations that hold us back from that. Because I think that's the biggest thing that stops us is the limiting beliefs, the fears, the doubts, the ego. Like all of that is what stops the God spark from really truly being activated. You know what I mean? From allowing our potential to truly shine, from allowing our light to truly be seen, you know? So it's moving beyond the limitations that we place upon ourselves and truly owning the power, truly being able to show up in who we are meant to be, and to allow the divine to move through us so that the work can be done, whatever is meant to happen. Do you know what I mean? And allowing that to be the channel. That is what we're doing in Chicago, 3 days in person. It's going to be incredible.
Is going to be so incredible. And this is for you if you've been feeling that call to up level in your spiritual development, because we will be channeling. You can't not bring the angels or the guides, like they kind of partner here, but we will be channeling. We will be bringing to you, you know, a lot of clarity for you personally. As much as this is going to be a group setting, in many ways, as much as this is going to be a group setting, you will absolutely feel like we're speaking directly to you. We are looking for people that are wanting to up level personally, but also professionally. If you're in the service industry, and I don't care if you're a yoga teacher, if you're a healer, if you're a channel, I mean, I don't mind where you are in life or in your profession. But if you know you're holding yourself back from really being seen, if you know you're holding your business back from the true potential that it holds for you to manifest, not just a mass amount of money, but also the mass amount of opportunities for you to get your name out there, for you to get your face out there, for you to be on YouTube, for you to be interviewed, for you to create your book. So many people, I don't know about you, but it's not just you saying, I got to get my book done. Literally, like if that's not my next thing is book writing, I don't know what will be, because I have literally heard so many people talk about, oh my gosh, my story, I could write a book about it. Oh my gosh, this experience, totally could write a book about it. People want to get their messaging out there. And we want to help you harness the power that you possess, expand the power that you possess, so that you go out and you make that impact in the world, personally or professionally. That spiritual stuff it needs to be a very big part of what you do. The spiritual word, the belief that something bigger than you exists, the spirituality, your ability to co-create with the universe. Right? Like this, we're not getting religious. We're not getting very political. We're not doing any of that stuff. But what we're saying is, if you are someone that believes there's something greater than you, that it's existent, then we're going to start tapping into what that greater than you that exists is, so that it starts partnering with you to create what you came here to create. We all came here with massive, massive potential and messaging and wisdom. And vortexes that hold so much gift for us. It's time to reach beyond the limitations and to, you know, step into the fullness of what life could truly be for you. That's what we're going to do in Chicago.
And you know, one of the things too is that this work that we're going to be leading you through and walking through with you is something that it's literally for everybody. I feel like for anyone who is on the path of like, I'm here for more, I'm here to bring more. And also in the context of, you know, regardless of where you're at right now in your career, you're always, when you activate this God spark inside of you, when you activate this connection to the divine, when you activate your channel and ability to move in that expansive energy, you bring that into all areas of your life. Do you know what I mean? So even if, let's say, for example, maybe you're in a corporate career and you're wanting to transition into your own business, this work can still be brought into whatever the corporate is that then supports you in your transition. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's kind of, and then also, not, you know, we're not even mentioning the fact that it's also about your relationships in your life, relationships with money, relationships with your family, with your kids, with your spouse, with whoever, with your friends, you know, and allowing that activated energy to overflow into all areas of your life. And that is then also how you begin to create the life that is aligned to your vision, to your dreams, to that bigger desire that you hold, because you're allowing this energy not just focus in this one area, but it's it's all encompassing. It's fully embodied in all areas, and so then it works its magic in all the ways, and everything becomes more aligned and more connected and expansive for you. So if there is this area in your life where like, that doesn't feel like an expansive part, that's where we get to change it too, by doing this work and then bringing that expansiveness to whatever it is. It's literally beyond limitations in all the ways.
Absolutely. 100%, 100%. The greatest relationship you'll ever develop and nurture is the one you hold with yourself.
Yep.
Hands down. And, you will be asked to step up. You will be asked to invest. And that is so that the energy is, the exchange is equal, right? The universe is going to say, if this is really where you want to go, here's the action steps that's going to help you get there, And so Chicago is going to be freaking fantastic. It's at a gorgeous hotel. And it's filling up quite quickly too, which I'm just like,
so excited.
I don't know. It's like, so it is exciting, but I'm just like, wow, if you didn't know it was time, it's time. People want to get together in person. They want to be fed. They want to be loved. They want to be healed. They want to be nurtured. They want to be hugged. Oh my gosh. People want to be hugged in more ways than just one. You know what I mean? And it's such an honor and a blessing to do this work and then show others how to do it too. And then watch others as they go out into the world and they do it. And it's like, whoa, it is just so good.
That's my favorite part about all of it. You know what I mean? When you see it, like when you see how the ripple effect, like you witness the ripple effect. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're literally witnessing it. And it's it's amazing. So I just quickly want to say, I posted the link in the chat for everyone. Yay. So you can go find the link inside of the chat. I pinned it in there. If you, on that page, all the details are there. If you have any questions, you can always reach out through the contact form on my website, but the link to reserve your spot is there, because like we said, there's limited spots. Obviously, the room is only this big. So there's limited spots for this event. So if you're like, you feel it inside of you and it's like, the sparks are flying, the activation is there,
Yeah. Valerie said, this live is fire. If this live is fire, feel into what it would be like to be in a room for 3 days working on and in this energy. It's going to be so expansive and so incredible. In your 3 days, you will also be receiving breakfast. You'll be receiving lunch. We have some rooms set aside. I'm not sure if they're still there. We'd have to check on them because we've had a lot of people interested, but we have blocked rooms off at this hotel so that you are able to secure the rate that it was last week or the week before without it increasing, because they've got Lollapalooza going on in Chicago. So it's going to be harder and harder to get a space, but we have that taken care of. So if you are interested in spending 3 magical, magnificent, powerful days with Christina and I, Chicago is going to be the way that you can do that. The link is in the comments. Run on over there, secure your spot. We still have the payment options available to you as well. As we get closer to July, we will not be able to offer that. So take advantage of this now so that you can pay in 2 payments in June and then in July, so that you can get everything taken care of and meet us in the city of Chicago, the city of what is it called? The Windy City?
Yes. The Windy City.
The Windy City, but the Windy City brings in so much guidance and download and creativity. And I love that it's the Windy City because it's constantly moving, and we are just going to be in such flow for the weekend. It's just going to be so magical and magnificent. And I can't wait.
Gosh, it's going to be so good. So good. And, it's so funny that we were talking about the God Spark, because traditionally, I've noticed this now, July has, like, in terms of the guidance that I share from the angels and the focus that comes in, July has always been, I've noticed now, a throat chakra month. And I always say that, like, throat chakra month, it's throat chakra month. And the same thing coming this July. It's like, throat chakra month. So what better month to have this in when we're talking about the gods, when we're talking about this activation of the power of your voice, of who you are, of your truth, your legacy, your impact, you know, the imprint that you are here to make in the world, then throat chakra month. I just love that.
Yeah. It's so good. It's going to be so good. And I cannot wait. I can't wait. They've shown me what this event looks like. I've watched myself move through that room. I can't bottle up the feelings. It's just going to be magnificent. We will be helping you embody what's taught too. And I think that that's something, I think it's important to speak it, because it's one thing to gift everyone with an experience. It's another to gift them an experience that they then take home and they ponder over and they think about and they do some work around. But it's another to really help people embody what's taught. And in that moment, at that space, in that space with each other, we will be embodying it. There's techniques that we'll be doing, exercises we'll be doing, movement we'll be doing. There's just so much that's going to allow you to leave that space as a totally different person than whom you stepped into it as. And it is just going to be,
it's so,
I hope I can teach, because I think I'm just going to sit there and be like,
oh my God.
Everybody's going to be like, what's happening? Wait a minute. This is so good. Like, tell me more. Wait a minute. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the part where the teacher's like, yeah, it's going to be so great for the students. And you're like, I want to participate.
Exactly. Right. Oh my gosh. It's so
funny. Do we have any questions? Are there any questions? Post.
Let us know if you have any questions for us. So let me check in with the chat. And then for those of you who are watching on the recording, if you do have any questions, you can always post it in the comments below the video, and then we can come back and answer them in the replay or whatever. So let me see. I think, hold on, let me just check in here with the comments. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, I see a comment here. Julie said, "We are God's sound bowls." I love that so much.
I love that. Julie has a drum that she'll be bringing with her. I think we're gonna light this whole space up. Julie will bring her drum, and we'll be just, I don't know what she'll do. It'll be Julie's moment.
That's amazing. I love that. Yes. Okay. So there's a question: do I have to have it all together to come? So I feel like that's a big, it kind of depends on the situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you have to have it all together? I would say that it's for the people who have a direct knowing and vision in terms of there's something more here for me. Do you know what I mean? So it is definitely for the people who are in a space of, I'm ready for more. I'm ready to expand. I just don't know how. I'm ready to grow in my vision or my dream or my desire. I just feel stuck and limited right now. It feels like things aren't moving or aren't working. How do I step into my potential? That's the place. Do you know what I mean? If there's if someone's in a place where they just feel very lost and very uncertain and then I would say that would be something different, because that would mean that you're in a place where there's still a lot of healing work to be done in order for you to be able to connect to your soul's vision or your soul's desires, to then be able to move it into like practical. Do you know what I mean? Because this is a place where it's like practical, the practicality, like how do I bring this into practice? Like you said, embodiment, so that it's like you leave the event and like your business or your life is transformed because you're applying the things. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference.
I agree with you. It makes perfect sense. It's an intensive. So you're walking into an intensive with a clear picture, maybe not the how, or maybe not the detail, or maybe you're not in the energy of it yet. And that's what you're seeking out through the experience in Chicago. But this is definitely going to be for someone who is ready to take this intensive weekend to really, I mean, we're talking levels of upgrading that'll be experienced. It isn't a space where we're going to tell you where you can go and tell you what you should do and tell you how you can, like, that's not that space, you know. I agree with you 100%. It feels so much more I don't want to say fast paced in the sense of movement, but fast paced in the sense of like, we're going to go from here to here in 3 days. Are
Quantum
you ready?
leaps, essentially.
Thank you. God. And it's a word I've been hearing like all the time that I'm like, I'm sick of this word, but that's appropriate.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's so cool.
Exactly. Domenico saying, I feel like my God spark has been activated. Am I correct? Oh my gosh, Domenico, I love you. And yes, I totally feel like by the way, she has the most beautiful voice, Domenico.
Yes.
Singer and just so beautiful. Yes,
Oh my
absolutely.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to hear that voice in person, Domenico. Yeah. She's in New York City too, right?
Yes, she is.
In New York City. Yeah, girl, it's only a 10-hour car ride. I'm going to make the car ride actually, by the way. But yes, absolutely activated. And it's time for expansion too. So one of the things, I know we're trying to wrap this up. I love you. Please don't hate me. I'm not on YouTube, so I don't know the YouTube thing. But one of the things are it's one thing to have it activated and it's activated, but now it's time to take it and expand it. There's no limit to how big your God spark can be. There's no limit to the reach that it can have. And now that you know that it's activated, it's kind of like Beyonce. Beyonce, we know her the girl's throat chakras are open. She's working it. It's fine tuned. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like Beyonce she knows that her God spark is wide open, but she also knows how to use that God spark, like the platform, to reach people and to make an impact.
Yes, that's
what this weekend. Yes, it's what this weekend is all about. Yeah. Oh my God, thank you. You are so welcome. I hope to see you in Chicago. Like if there was like ideal client, she would totally freaking be it. Like her energy is like, come on.
Oh my God. If and when you meet Domenico, you're going to love her. She's amazing. I love her.
I already do. I love her energy. Her energy is so sparkly and
yes, that's her.
I know.
I hope you don't mind that we're talking about you, Domenico. We love you.
Yeah, really. And channeling on alive. That's so funny. Awesome.
Okay. I don't think there's any other questions.
Cool.
But like I said, if anyone is watching this right now, you can post that before we hop off, or you can put that in the comments below and we will answer you in the comments below. The link to come join us is in the pinned comment right now. So you can go check that out. And I think that's it. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Yeah. So once you have secured your spot, and you are all set, we are going to be escorting you lovingly into a Facebook community where you will learn so much more about where we will be staying. There are women in there already so that you can mingle with and get to know each other before you come. I'm sure I felt it over the weekend. I know I didn't reach out and tell you. I love you. I'm sorry. I hope you're not caught off by this, but I do think there's work that will be done prior to our leaving and departing for Chicago. Yes. There's just something about things need to get think on this before we go.
You already told me about this. You told me telepathically.
Oh, I was going to say. Wait, no, I'm losing my mind. That's so funny. But yeah, there is work that I really feel like to respect and honor the power of what has already been channeled around this event, we have to start a little bit early because we want people thinking and marinating on some stuff prior to stepping into this room. And so this Facebook community is where you're going to learn everything about the event, where it's at, how to mingle with people, perhaps how to find a room buddy if necessary. We're going to have to get really clear about food and things like that so that we can offer you something for your style, right? Like we're not just going to wing it on the food choices. We really want to get clear and personalize it for you because that's the event that we hold. That's the integrity of the energy we keep. And so I would say not to hesitate on this and not to wait on this because again, not only do you want to take advantage of the payment arrangements, you also want to get yourself a room and you also want to get in there and start mingling with friends prior so that anything we ask of you before Chicago, you can get it done. So I'm so very excited. I'm so excited.
Good. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. It's gonna be amazing.
Yay. So good. Well, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for coming and being here, being a part of this community. Now everyone knows who you are. And before we finish, I want you to tell everyone where they can find you on the social medias or wherever.
Yeah. So I will send your team. I'll have my team call your team because we do have teams. We have teams. I'll have the team get with your team so that you can post all my social stuff. But
I'll have that below in the description.
Yeah. You can find me on my website, JacquelineHopper.com. You can even learn more about the retreat. Well, we've got both sales pages there. So you can learn more about the retreat there or here or anywhere. But it's also a space where you can communicate with me if you are interested or have any specific questions, perhaps about something that I might have said. Feel free to reach out there. I am on Facebook, I am on Instagram, and all of that will be in your show notes as well. So I'm super excited.
Yay. Awesome. Yay. Well, thank you again for being here. Thank you for sharing your beautiful divine wisdom and your God spark with us.
Thank you.
It was such a beautiful experience. So everyone go check out Jackie Hopper. All the magic that she shares is incredible. So good.
Yay. So good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. I love you.
I love you too. And we love all of you. So as always, we are sending you all the love, all of the angel blessings, all of the divine blessings, all the things. And we will see you next time. Bye.